everyone. Hello and welcome to another episode on Fixing Nigeria with Dr. Sunday Adelaja. My name is Anu Ojo and I'm your host in this program. To our viewers who are watching us all over the world, be it on Facebook or YouTube or any other social media platform, I want to say welcome. Thank you for being with us today. Well, Fixing Nigeria is that special program on Dr. Sunday's platform that is directed towards our dear nation, Nigeria. If you're a Nigerian and if you love Nigeria, then this is the program that you want to listen to and you want to share to every Nigerian, both the Nigerians who are living back home in Nigeria and Nigerians in the diaspora. The truth about the state of Nigeria is that we brought ourselves to where we are today, and the responsibility is on us to take ourselves out of it. We're not going to get anyone who's going to come help us fix Nigeria. We have to fix our nation, and that is exactly what this program is about, fixing Nigeria. Furthermore, we understand that the fixing of Nigeria is beyond the fixing of our roads, is beyond fixing of our infrastructures, is beyond fixing of the hospitals and fixing the dilapidated state of many of our infrastructures and institutions. But the fixing of Nigeria has to start with fixing Nigerians. And there's no better way or better place to fix Nigeria than to fix our mindsets, to fix our values, and to fix the content of our character as a people. And that's exactly what we are addressing on this show, talking about fixing the value system of our nation. So I would like to encourage you, our dear viewers watching us right now, to kindly share this video. If you're watching on Facebook, you could share this video on your Facebook timeline. If you're watching on YouTube, you could share this video on your YouTube space or on other social media platforms that you belong to. Today we are addressing a topic that many Nigerians can relate with, and this is if you go to the social media platforms, or if you go on Google and just search tribalism in Nigeria, you'd see a lot of articles, you see a lot of videos talking about tribalism in Nigeria. And I decided to give today's title, Confronting the Bane of Tribalism in Nigeria. But before we get into the topic of today, as you can see on the screen, that beautiful book that is titled The Beauty of Nigeria's Diversity. The Beauty of Nigeria's Diversity. This is a book released by Dr. Sunday, and it talks about the beauty in our diversity in Nigeria. It's a book that you want to read if you're Nigerian. It will make you fall in love with your country again. It will make you value and see a lot of treasures that we have in Nigeria. So please do well to get this book. You could get this book free on Amazon Kindle Unlimited if you're a subscriber. You could also order the books on dsabooksplanet.com if you're in Nigeria or in Africa to get the book. Well, I'm not alone here today. I have Dr. Sunday Adelaja with me in the studio. Good evening, sir.
And good evening.
You're welcome to another episode on Fixing Nigeria.
Thank you.
Awesome. I want us to jump straight into the subject of today, and it is on tribalism. But before I even ask you, I have one question I want to ask you straight up. But before I ask you that question, I need to show some videos, and then I will jump straight into my question. So can we have the first video, please?
Many young people are concerned about Nigeria today, but I believe that Nigeria will bounce back. God loves us, and there is a future for this country. People don't need to check out of the country. But these are the basic things.
I've had my own bias based on parental influence.
I grew up in Adamawa State, in Yola, and as a little child, a little girl that was growing up, the Hausas, because I grew up in their midst, so I know how to speak Hausa, but there their children don't really go to school.
Immediately your bias is up, your rationality will be down. That is why you saw what happened in Rwanda. And then you see what is happening in our own crime. We are the so-called Fulani herdsmen and farmers and all those, you see killings that are, so senseless and all.
They believe in once one person is educated, they meet the person and take the person as their god. So that they allow their children to be almajiri on the streets.
I think it was historical in my own part. It was like a hand-me-down belief. They generally believe that people that come from a particular tribe behave in a particular manner. People that come from this side are people who are always like this, who behave like this.
The major cause is ignorance. Ignorance of addition. Addition is when you know what you should have not known. So the point is, a lot of people take up major mistakes of human beings, and they, the vestige of humanity, take that particular abstracted fruit and now impose it on a particular tribe.
We must learn to manage and accommodate our differences.
So now what problem with the warriors today for Nigeria, and that problem now what they call tribalism. Urobo ate Shekiri, Shekiri ate Urobo, Ijo ate Urobo, Shekiri ate Ijo, Hausa man ate Igbo man, Igbo man ate Yoruba man, Yoruba man ate Igbo man. What is going on? So certain group of persons go come under the canopy of one tribe or one religion. Those group of persons now will cause unnecessary stigma from generation to generation. I be Fulani man, not me say I be S-men. I come for Niger Delta. You not me say I be militant. I come for Ikorodu. You not me say I come for Bado. So sometimes these things where we dey look, they show we face. Our children go grow up, they hate each other because of some unnecessary problem wey some people, because of their selfish interest, say they wan gain power na to cause unrest for the country or for the state. God go judge una. Anywhere una enter, God go judge una. Make una desist from that habit. And you people not go look say because of certain group cause one problem in one place, you go call hate another man wey no know anything about that situation. I take God beg una. Make una not see full animal for road start to the beat and say na yes men. Make una not see person wake up for Niger Delta look and say na arm robber and gun in dey shoot for morning till night. Na God will take beg una. Let's learn to love ourselves, one, and let's face fact. Any group where they cause unrest, they should look to the root cause of that problem and solve it. They do not look every matter, say they just slide down under the carpet, they just slide down under the carpet. Now from there, go till they grow. Where the carpet full, The problem go come outside. You know if you contain the carpet again. Before you go deal with the one wey dey outside, no enter inside carpet again, more problem to problem to problem to problem go come turn generational matter. As I dey talk now, e be like say I no get sense. But no wahala. Abeg make dem give me my action bitters make I take follow up. I no fit shout. I no fit die for una matter. I use my action bitter take cool up. Abeg.
Alright. So, well, before I came up with the title of today's discussion, I intended to give it a different title. And the title I wanted to give to this discussion was Is tribalism a reality in the Nigerian society? That are we really a tribalistic society? And I wanted to ask that question because there's a narrative in the media platforms about tribalism, and just like some of the videos we just saw now, where people are saying tribalism is in Nigeria, and some people are saying okay, we're tribalistic and all of that. So my question to you, which would have been the topic I would have chosen today, is tribalism a reality in Nigeria? Are we a tribalistic society?
It depends on the definition you give tribalism. But I think majority of Nigerians will rather answer in the affirmative that yes, there is tribalism, or tribalism is a problem in Nigeria. That's what most people will agree to. So, yeah, let's just assume that there is a problem like that. But if I were to be the one dissecting the case on my own, I would have argued that we need to describe and we need to define what we mean by tribalism.
All right. So let's start with the definition of tribalism.
Well, if we are going to describe if we are going to intellectually approach the question of tribalism and as a term and as a terminology, it will be totally different from the way Nigerians use the word. Normally when Nigerians refer or talk about tribalism, they are normally talking about something in the negative, as if it is something bad to be tribalistic or to even have a tribe, as if that is something bad. But really, if you look at the definition of tribalism, you will discover that tribalism, you will discover that tribalism is most likely a dictionary definition or encyclopedia definition will give you an explanation that is similar to what we call nationalism in Europe or in America. So, or ethnic group. The fact that there is an ethnic group and they have their interest to protect and to fight for, the same way we have tribes with also their specifications, with their individualities, and with their interest to protect and interest to, and their people to support. So, but the way tribalism is being prescribed in Africa is more like a negative thing, so much that is almost, people will almost think that nationalism, tribalism is something totally different from ethnic groups, and tribalism is something totally different from nationalities. But really, they are the same thing. But the use of it, starting from the colonial days, they don't use ethnic groups so much for Africans, and they don't use nationalities so much for Africans as well. When it comes to Africa, they use the debased word that is tribalism. And almost anything that is connected to the word tribal is negative. But if you want to just use like intellectual definition, like I said, there's nothing really different from what we call tribalism and from what other people call ethnic groups, ethnic interest, ethnic conflicts, or nationalities in other countries. However, so is there any negativity connected to tribalism as a whole? Is there anything bad about tribalism? Any negativity? Yes, just like there are things that are bad with nationalism in some other, or anything else, or nationalism or ethnic groups, there could be negative aspects of them also. But let's now go back to the Nigerian definition or Nigerian understanding of tribalism. The Nigerian understanding of tribalism is always something that is negative. So, but what is the negative thing that we are referring to when we talk about tribalism? Which is, like I said, it's not the dictionary. The dictionary meaning of tribalism doesn't have to be negative. The dictionary meaning of, or encyclopedia meaning of tribalism doesn't have to be negative. But what is our own understanding of it and the negativity of it? So now, according to our own mind, tribalism is when you come from a certain group or tribe in Nigeria, and as such, like that other comedian was saying, in his own mind, tribalism is a problem in Nigeria, and his own interpretation, if you listen to him again, of tribalism means that the people who come from Yorubas hate the Igbos, and the Igbos hate Yorubas, and the Northerners hate the Southerners, and things. He's using the word hate to describe tribalism, which is very accurate in Nigerians' mind and in Nigerians' concept. But it is wrong to say that, even from taking it from the Nigerian perspective and Nigerian definition of tribalism, it is still ignorance and lack of information, or lack of complete information, or maybe people who are not enlightened enough or who are susceptible to non-truth that regard tribalism to be synonymous to hatred of other tribes or other nationalities. But real tribalism, if you're going to even describe it in Nigerian terms, does not mean hate. What real tribalism, even in Nigerian terms, as negative as it is that you come from one tribe or one part of the nation, and you promote the interest of your tribe, you promote the people who come from your tribe, you don't see anything bad in the characteristics of your people, or people who come from your side. And then, but if you don't come in from another side, you see something negative, or mostly negative things in other people. But saying something negative in other people doesn't mean you hate them. But most of the time, what Nigerians actually refer to as tribalism is nepotism. And nepotism is actually what we call tribalism without knowing it. But if you want to use English language, nepotism is more negative than tribalism. And nepotism is when you prefer people from your own side of the nation, and when there is a need for employment, for example, you don't use merit, you use tribe description, or you want to just take for a job. Let's say you have 10 people contesting for that job, and the only one person from your tribe is not even qualified, and you will not even consider or examine all other people. You just take somebody from your side because it's our own. That is how we describe tribalism, but it's actually nepotism. Then we also see tribalism as something that, meaning that your people can never do something wrong. So let's say your governor is caught stealing, and and is being prosecuted for it. Then the people of his tribe we gather around him and say, no, what about your own thief? You are not persecuting your own thief, you are taking our own thief, that we will not allow you to prosecute him. That is actually tribalism. Even though people are saying that we will not allow you to prosecute our man, they are saying you, the government who is trying to prosecute him, is being tribalistic. That is why you are trying to prosecute him. But they don't know that even that act itself of defending your own, that is tribalism and nepotism as well. And but for example, in a few years ago, there is a pastor that was caught using his aircraft to illegally transport cash, millions of dollars from Nigeria to South Africa. Oriche Jaffo is his name. And the one they caught him, he was supposed to be prosecuted by the Justice Ministry, by this Attorney General of the country. But even before the interrogation and the investigation was concluded in South Africa, the people of his state and people of his tribe, Ishikiri or something, they were already fighting, coming to demonstrate. Go and look at it in the internet. They were demonstrating, we are not going to allow the government to prosecute him. The same thing with Ibori. When he came back to Nigeria, even before he came back, the AFCC people went there to the town to arrest him. His own Orobo people will not allow. They will not even allow the AFCC or the police to get there. But the same thing with Mashanu or something Shano, one Euro Ijebu guy that was also supposed to be. He was being looked for. He's been looked for up to now in America, and he was a senator in the Senate, and he was a senator, and the people, because he was always distributing money in his constituency there. He's from my state. Actually, he's from Ijebu. He's from my own area. I couldn't believe it when I discovered that the Ijebu people, because when I was growing up in Ijebu, the community itself would push off that kind of, they would put forth that kind of person for prosecution. But this time I heard that the local people, who are my people, surrounded the home of that man and said, no, we will not allow you to prosecute him because it is political something. So that is tribalism. Because it's our thief, we will not allow you to prosecute our own thief. The same thing with Ali Meseaga or something was there. And they will not, people will say, no, it's not. So these things are all forms of, so it is not just about giving scholarship. When you talk to Igbos about tribalism, they will say, oh yeah, they are tribalism because of quota system. They will say quota system is the proof that there is tribalism. But quota system doesn't talk about tribalism. If quota system talks about tribalism, then it means there is tribalism in America, where there is quota for minorities, where there is quota for black people, where there is quota for people who are underprivileged. In every country, you have quota system. But in Nigeria, I think even that quota system, it doesn't even work all over Nigeria. It only works when it comes to state universities or state admissions. So if you are from that state, the state university will prefer the citizens of their own state to the citizens of other states. The same thing, citizens of the state universities in the East also prefer their own. But what is tribalism? You will not consider your own, no, that your own people also are doing that. It's the same thing, it's the same principle all over the country. Every state government prefers their own citizens before they will take the citizens of other countries, other citizens. But the federal government, the federal something, mainly are trying to do it by merit. You know, maybe even if it is with some quotes, I mean, what do you call it, quota, it is also something that is done for a reason. And I don't see that as a big problem, really. So, but the same Igbo people will not tell you that there is also tribalism whenever you accuse other people of tribalism. When you accuse other people of tribalism, it means you are showing tribalism, because you are trying to tell me that it is because I am not from your tribe, or because you are your tribe, I should treat you differently. That on its own is tribalism. So, but what we should pay attention to more is, I'm talking of tribalism in terms of Nigerian definition now, or nepotism. But what we should try to pay attention to more, of course, is the content of character of individuals. Character, values, virtues over sentiments. As far as I'm concerned, I don't believe that tribalism in Nigeria means hatred of other people. I think it means sentiments. It means discrimination to some extent. It could mean some kind of sentiments, just being more passionate about your people or your own interest rather than hatred. Even the discrimination. I personally think that the people who really suffer from, who are supposed to be complaining about tribe and tribalism in Nigeria are the most quiet ones, are the most law-abiding Nigerians. You know, we have over 500 nationalities. Is it over 300? Over 300 nationalities and over 500 languages, yeah. So we have over 300 nationalities in Nigeria, or tribes in Nigeria. But the ones who are always crying and complaining about tribalism are the very ones who are the most privileged. They are the Yorubas. My own tribe people are complaining about tribalism, and it's so stupid in my own mind, in my own thinking, because Yorubas are some of the most privileged people in that country, and yet they are the ones who will cry the most. You look at newspapers and articles, they are coming from the West, and they are these same West people who will cry most about tribalism. And then the second people, or maybe even the first people who complain more, maybe I think the Igbos even complain about tribalism more than the Yorubas. And the Igbos also, but they're also one of the most privileged people in Nigeria. You know, Igbos are, they control 70% of import and export in the whole country of 200 million people, where they are just about 30%. So 70% of people allow them to do that, and yet you are talking about about tribalism. And Igbos are the ones who are in every nook and crannies of Nigeria, everywhere, and they are being tolerated, and yet they are the ones who are control, who will complain about it's just tribalism. I mean, there is no other tribe in Nigeria that is in every nook and crannies of Igbo land, or talk less of from another tribe, or the way Igbos have infiltrated other people, and then they are being tolerated largely. And apart from when there are crises. But you cannot be more tolerant than that. I don't see tribalism as a big problem as much as Nigerians talk about it. If tribalism, they complain about in Nigeria, I think it has its own varieties in every country. But it's just people looking for their own interests or pushing their own interests. I don't even see tribalism so much in Nigeria. But I think ethnic differences, yes. So those ethnic differences is what we call tribalism. But ethnic differences are in every country, including America, including Britain. I mean, if you go to Britain today, a British Englishman or woman would prefer to have dealings with you than to have dealing with an Irishman. And they are in the same country. In fact, a Scottish man in Britain today would prefer to have dealing with you than to have with an Englishman. Wales have their own problems in Britain. If you go to even Germany, people think that Germans are homogeneous. Not lie. Up to today, there is a state, in fact, I think it's the richest state or land in Germany. They call them Bavaria. I don't know if you have heard of Bavaria. They have their ongoing fight with the German government and the German ideology and identity as a whole. They want to leave too. They want to come out of Germany. And nobody is supporting them and going to say, okay, you are discriminating them, it's because of discrimination. Those are just the kind of, it's just like we go to France also. Is it Monaco? What's the name of, not Monaco, what's the name of that city? Marseille, is it, huh?
Marseille or Paris?
No, Paris is the capital. Yeah. There is this northern that is closer to Africa like that. You know, is Marcel or Monaco, where, you know, they also have their own problem. They don't agree with France and the French government. They also want to come out. And the islands, the same thing. So, same problem, huh? Montreal. Is it Montreal? Montreal, yeah. Is it? No, Montreal is in Canada. They also have their own problem with Canada. You know, everywhere. You go to America, Texas, they want to come out too. California wants to come out. New York, they have problems. You know. It's not something as much as we make it to be in Nigeria. We almost make it to be like it is a big monster in Nigeria. In Nigeria, they will make it look like a monster. But people just manage their own affairs. We need to learn to manage our own affairs. These are just ethnical differences and ethnical interests. I see Nigeria as one of the most, after traveling all over the world though, I see Nigeria as one of the most equal countries in the world in terms of internal, the way we have been able to manage our interests and our differences, sorry. That's why I wrote this book, The Beauty of in Nigeria's Diversity. If we will focus more on the beauty of our diversity, we will complain less about the things that separate us.
Amazing. Thank you for that exhaustive response to the question, if tribalism is a reality in Nigeria. You mentioned tribalism being about people moving for their own interest, the interest of their tribe.
Pushing,
for the interest of their tribe. But would we say that in Nigeria there is a case of people who are moving or pushing for the interest of their tribe at the expense of national improvement or national progress? Is that something that is happening in Nigeria?
Yes, but that is happening not just by one tribe or another tribe. Mm-hmm. That is happening by all the tribes.
So every tribe is...
For example, in Nigeria, not every tribe. Okay. For example, what you have just said now.
Yes.
Any time I hear people talk about restructuring,
yes,
restructuring Nigeria, I think those people are pushing for their own interests at the expense of national unity and of Nigeria as a whole. Mm-hmm. Because when people talk about restructuring, I say I don't agree with that. I want reconstructuring, not restructuring. And the people who believe in restructuring, they are always pushing it through hatred, anger. They are always wanting to reduce the unity and the power of the central Nigerian identity, so that it will be more of their own local something. How would that make us more Nigerian? That will only make us less Nigerians and make us more tribal conscious. Yeah. And they are the same people who complain about tribalism.
Their own logic, their own logic. Many of them even speak about that the unity of Nigeria is not real, and they explain that if the amalgamation of the northern and southern protectorate and all of that of Nigeria wasn't what the Nigerians maybe longed for or desired, but that the joining of Nigeria, of the southern and northern protectorates and all of that, is as a result of the selfish interest of the British colonizers. What do you have to say about that?
I know. Those are songs for the less informed people. Those are songs for illiterates. And those are talks for people who don't know better, people who are less informed, and they just hear them talk grammar and bring some facts and statistics, and because they don't know better, they themselves don't know better, I guess. They are all victims of their own selfish, egocentric, selfish push. Okay, is Nigeria a product of amalgamation? Oh yeah, of course. And thank God for that amalgamation. Oh, thank God for that amalgamation. If not for that amalgamation, the Uroshuku will still be terrorizing the whole Igbo land by now. If not for that amalgamation, there will still be killing of children and twins in Calabar and Niger Delta and Port Harcourt up to today. If not for that amalgamation, there will still be tribal wars between the Yorubas among killing themselves. If not for that amalgamation, the Fulanis will still be terrorizing all small tribes that are in the north. That amalgamation, that is a selfish interest. Of course it's selfish interest. Tell me, what about America? The same kind of document that was used to buy Nigeria, in 18-something for about 800 and something pounds, 1,000 pounds, that is the same situation with America. Go and find out. It was also a business corporation. That is the way the world was that time. The world was ruled by capitalist interests. It is mainly, I think, India, Niger, some corporation like that. The same thing in South Africa. It's a business interest. Same thing with Congo. It was a business. It's business interest. In fact, in terms of Congo, it's one man that bought the whole country. The same thing with Rhodesia, Zimbabwe today. It's one man that bought the whole thing. But not just Africa. This happened even in countries like Canada, America, Australia. That's what the whole essence. That's the way colonialism worked that time. India also is a corporate organization like that. It was that bought it. Those are all commercial interests that was. But they will not tell you that those people who are telling you those songs that, oh, okay, the unity of Nigeria has lost its validity because it is now 100 years, because that company bought it for 100 years, and that is what it was. And so in 2014, it was 100 years as elapsed. It's all kind of stories. Then why didn't America elapse? Why didn't Britain elapse? Why didn't even Britain itself? It was a corporation, like a business interest. This is the way the world was run that time. And, but it has, they will not tell you the other side of the story, that everything has been overturned. Everything has been overturned once those countries, even India, even Zimbabwe, even South Africa, all of them were overturned once they become republics, once they become nations. Once they are united like that and they become countries and nations, like have independence, it's your own affair. All those things that happened, the politicking that happened during the colonial struggles for the separation and distribution of lands came to an end. Even Germany itself, Germany that we see today, it's less than 100 years, I think. Because they were all different, every land was controlled by one rich family, or the other. Same thing in France, same thing in Belgium, same thing all over the world. So people who are telling those stories because they are not informed about world politics and about history. So when I hear them talk on YouTube, I listen to them. One of them will come and say, I'm a lawyer. I saw the secret document. They don't want you to see this document. It was there by the British government. It was signed in the 18-something. We used our own network, intelligence. Is it intelligence that made me to know that it's the same thing in America? Is it intelligence that made me to know that even Britain itself had commercial something, a foundation? Is it this intelligence that made me to know that it happened in all the other countries that I just mentioned? Which intelligence? Bush people. Now, Bush people you go talk to like that and they will believe you. I mean, I don't even... those are information for the gullible. Those are information for less informed people. What did amalgamation give us? I've done a video on this already. If you want, you can go and listen to my video about that. If not for the amalgamation, did you hear all the things I just mentioned? The Yoruba nation would have ceased operating if not for amalgamation. So we should thank God for amalgamation. If not for amalgamation, Igbo people would have still been sold right now onto slavery. Arabs were selling Igbos to slavery. They were selling other northern people to slavery. Fulanis were doing that too. Yorubas were being sold to slavery, if not for amalgamation. It is thanks to the amalgamation that the government of Britain was able to have power over our territory and put a stop to slave trade. Both Arabic and cross-Atlantic, transatlantic. So, if not for amalgamation, you know what our kings were doing? our kings will still be using their own citizens as sacrifices on their festivals. Do you know why you have masquerades? You know what masquerades used to do those days? They to steal people. That's why people are still afraid of masquerades up to today, and sacrifice them. You know what was happening in Benin when Oba wants to be enthroned? You have to put the foundation of human beings. The same thing in Yoruba land. So thank God for amalgamation.
That should be the narrative now. Thank God for amalgamation. That's interesting. And one of the things I think we also have to address is how the media, the media is a tool either ways. And the media could either
go to the right or to the left.
Right or to the left, yes. And one of the things that I've noticed about the Nigerian media space is that very little emphasis is placed on research and on critical analysis of certain facts and things like that. So it's more like just sensationalism, because you want to invite people. Because let's say there's going to be a discussion on tribalism, you want to invite someone who's going to be as sensational as possible, so that to like drive traction, to just bring people to their channel and then all of that. But it's not really about enlightening people.
And it's not about national unity.
Yeah, it's not about national unity. It's more about the egoistic and selfish gain of each individual. But there's an interesting video I saw about Hamadu Bello, and it was asking questions.
Before you do that, maybe you should announce for people who might want to contribute to the discussion.
Okay, yeah,
they might be registering at least before we give them the.
That would be good. Okay, let me speak to our viewers. You can join this discussion, and you can contribute your thoughts or your ideas concerning the subject of today. The way to do that is to go to Facebook Messenger. So you search for Move Agents on Facebook Messenger. So if you're watching us on YouTube or you're watching us on Facebook, this applies to everybody. So please go to Facebook Messenger, search for Move Agents, and okay, hello. How is it now? Wow, interesting.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I think you can be heard right now. All right, so sorry guys, you couldn't hear me. So I'm going to repeat what I said. So for people who want to call, so if you would like to contribute to today's discussion, the way to do that is to go to Facebook Messenger and search for Move Agents on Facebook Messenger, Move Agents. And this applies to everyone watching us on Facebook and on YouTube, right? This book you can see on your screen. If you're Nigerian, you want to read this book. You really do want to read this book. It's titled The Beauty of Nigeria's Diversity. The Beauty of Nigeria's Diversity. Dr. Sene did a great job researching and, exposing to everyone why our difference is actually a blessing. Our diversity is a blessing. So please do well to get this book. It's available on Amazon Kindle Unlimited for free. You can read that. And if you're in Nigeria, you can order the book on dsabooksplanet.com. Another interesting book I really love is The Law of Difference.
Yeah, The Law of Difference.
The Law of Difference. Well, this is one book that is not limited to Nigerians. I think everyone living has to read this book. Yeah, The Law of Difference. And it says how to see uniqueness in every person. This is an amazing book, really. It's a philosophical book, and a book I think it should be edged into history as one of the books that would help foster
the whole humanity.
Yeah, that will help foster unity in a global sense. Not just in a national, but just generally, how we can have a united world, how we can have a global world where everyone would appreciate each other, irrespective of our differences. So the law.
There is still another book like that too.
Yeah, the danger of monoculturalism. Yeah, I don't know if the book is. Yeah, so that's another philosophical.
The danger of monoculturalism.
Monoculturalism.
Yeah.
That's another interesting book too.
It's in the class of these two.
Yeah. The both of them are in that class. It's a mindset shifting kind of philosophical thing that to help people.
Philosophical, psychological,
yeah.
But more anthropological.
Yes, yeah.
All these three subjects are anthropological books.
That's true. It helps people understand our humanness. So, yeah, that's the book right there. The danger of monoculturalism. The danger of monoculturalism. Let's talk about Dr. Sunday.
You said there is a video you wanted to share.
Yeah, there's a video, but I want to just really weigh in this book on the danger of monoculturalism. Nigeria happens to be not a monoculturalistic society, but a multiculturalism nation. Now, one of the things I want you to address quickly is how can Nigeria leverage on our multiculture? Because if here you're saying there's a danger of monoculturalism, so maybe the opposite or the antonym of the word danger.
Is that not the book you have already presented before?
Yes, I presented
The Beauty
of Nigeria's Diversity. I know
that is exactly the opposite. That's exactly what I was doing in that book.
Mm-hmm. I know you did in the book.
So I was capitalizing on the advantages of difference.
Here, that's my idea is for you to share maybe one or two.
No, in that particular book, which is about the beauty of Nigerians' diversity, that one is more specific to Nigerians because I was talking about every tribe or major tribes and our advantages and how we can leverage on that. Yeah. But what you are asking now is just the opposite of monoculturalism and the advantage of it.
Yes, in the Nigerian.
Okay, you still want me to bring it back to Nigerian concept, concrete, or you want me to be more specific, or you want it to be more general?
Let's have it specific, if you don't mind, and maybe let me be an Oliver Twist, both on the general sense and in the specific sense.
Okay, on the general sense, you will see that. Monoculturalism is, first of all, is against the nature of God. Mm-hmm. That is not the way God created us. Otherwise, God will have created only white people, and that will be it. But somehow, along the white, who are the most powerful right now race on earth, you will see people like yourself, who are brownish, and then there are still people who are black, and then there are still people who are more yellowish, and that is all talking about God's diversity, just like we see in nature with trees, with animals, with every other thing. That is the nature of God. God does that in general. So God is diversified, and God makes everything in diversity. But when it comes to concretely about Nigeria, when we are many like that, with as many tribes and languages that we have, that's one of the richest countries in the world, and the secret of our wealth is that we are able to, thanks to the what they Lord Lugard, what they do, amalgamation. Thanks to that amalgamation, over 300 tribes, almost 500 tribes have been brought together into one territory, making us one of the most uniquely gifted and blessed nations in the world. Why? Because every tribe brings their own specific blessings and gifts and abilities and endowments. So if we would focus now not on the negative part of each tribe, but we'll focus on specific blessings of each tribe, we will discover that we're the most wonderfully blessed people on earth. America right now is the greatest country in the world, thanks to the fact that it is an amalgamation of many, many nationalities and many, many tribes. Then somebody who is against Nigerian unity will come and tell me that, oh, America is because it is not by force, that Nigeria is we were all brought together by force. And it is not because it is if America, no other country is brought together by force. And if it is unity, it has to be willingly. I said, go and sing those your songs to carrots. Is it the ones that sing after you? Is it carrot or parrots? Parrots. Carrot is the one you eat. Okay, parrots. Go and sing those things to the parrots. Parrots that will be repeating the nonsense you are talking to you. You know, people like, that is the kind of story people like Nnamdi Kanu have told you. And that's why you are thinking like that, that we are brought together by force. It is not willingly.
By choice.
Yeah, I said, okay, tell me any country in the world that came together by choice. Tell me one, not be two, one. Is it America? Then tell me the history of Texas. Tell me the history of Colorado. Tell me the history of Los Angeles, California. Tell me the history of Las Vegas. And tell me the history of New England. Okay? So don't tell me those stories. Or is it Britain that came together also by choice? Mm-hmm. Then tell me the history of the Irish people in Britain. Tell me the history of the Wales. Tell me the history of Scotland. And tell me about the difference up to today. Is it Germany? Is it France? Or is it in Africa? Is it Cuba? Or, or is it Brazil? Is it Mexico? Tell me any nation that you know that came together by agreement. So it gets me emotional. But to answer your question, the fact that we have all these poly-ethnic groups brought together as one, you know, it makes us potentially, if we could get our ass together, to be able to we should be able to build in the future a country as great as America. Because the greatness of America is the fact that they are able to embrace all these ethnic groups, and they are able to build a unity, a nation together, a country together. If we are able to do the same thing, we'll be able to be a country that is as great as that. And secondly, you will discover that no nation that is mono-ethnic, that is great. No nation that is is it what we call that? Monoculture. No country that is monoculture is great in this world. Any country that is great is not monoculture. People think that French people are no monoculture, but if you go from north of south and north of from and south of France, you even see that they speak differently. The same French is spoken differently. Same thing with Germany. Same thing in England. These people are not monoculture.
Even in Russia.
Even in Russia too. Even in Ukraine here. It doesn't happen anywhere. Any country that has become great in this life is because they have been polycultural. And then, but apart from being polycultural and with multiple ethnicity in Nigeria, we have a big advantage. Another big advantage we have is a big population. And since we have big population, you also see that small countries don't become superpowers. So we stand a great chance of becoming a world power because we are so big. If we break us into small, we will remain small forever.
Yeah.
Secondly, small countries don't become economic giants. With Nigeria being such a big economy, we are the biggest economy in Africa, just because of our size, not because we are doing well. Our size alone gives us so many advantages. Everybody is vying and envying to have that. Because, you know, our economy, our size alone makes us one fifth of the whole of Africa, or the whole of the black race even sometimes. So, which means that, you know, we stand a very great chance, just like India. Will you say India is monocultural? No, it's so diverse, but they have been able to bring themselves together. And thanks to that, now they are the third largest economy in the world, or fourth largest economy in the world, or fourth or fifth or something like that, just because of their size as well. Not because everything is good for them. Or is it China you want to talk about? All of these people are very diverse, just like Nigeria. It is though the future of this world belongs to countries like Nigeria, like India, like China, like America, the ones that are big and are diverse. They will control the world, and Nigeria will be among them if we keep ourselves together. We are in the big league. The only thing is that we need to get rid of our vices. We need to be able to, raise and build our country on values, and then be able to address the character issue that our people have. And this character issue doesn't just belong to one ethnic group or tribe. These character issues and lack of character that we have belongs to all our ethnic groups. We all need to address ourselves and be able to, get ourselves together and get our acts together. If we can do that, we belong in the great future awaits us and our children.
Amazing. So people who are clamoring for the restructuring, they obviously lack the knowledge of what you just spoke about, because if they do really know that our togetherness and our unity as a nation is one of our greatest blessings, they would be the number one propellers, or they should be among people.
Because they are talking about oil. Some people want to do restructuring because they want to get the oil. They say because the oil is in their side.
Yes, right.
But the thing that is greater than oil is human resources.
That's right.
And the human resources is what we are talking about. The human resources, for example, somebody was telling me the other day that their state is so great, they do this. I said, yes, but if we should produce all those things without Nigeria, I say, well, where will you send them to? Who will consume them? It's not about your greatness, it's about who will eat them, who is buying them from you. So, it is human resources, human capital, that's what we have. But with Nigeria being so big, we have great human capital. And even countries all over the world are running to come to Nigeria because of our human capital. It's more valuable than oil that people are fighting for right now. Let us fight for the collective human capital. Human capital is all over Nigeria. It's not just in your tribe. So how will you divide that one? How will you reconstruct that one so that, restructure? How will you restructure that one so that you only your people? If you do that, then you become disadvantaged.
Amazing. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Sunday, for that. Let's have the video of Amadou Bello. This video was titled Tribalism in Nigeria. So I'd like us to listen to it.
Major talks about killing your premier. Add on top of that the North's general hate of the East, and you can start to get the picture of the sort of tribal tension Nigeria was heading towards.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it, obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or a permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a northerner first. If you can't get a northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee, because it will be rather dangerous to see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions coming out with having no work to do. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Doesn't this damage the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being fellow citizens of one country?
Well, it might, but you are, new to our region, but how many northerners are employed in the east or in the west? The answer is no. And if there are, there may be 10 laborers employed only.
Major talks about killing your premier. Add on top of that the North's general hate of the East, and you can start to get the picture of the sort of tribal tension Nigeria was heading towards.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it, obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a northerner first. If you can't get a northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee, because it will be rather dangerous to see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions coming out with having no work to do. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Doesn't this damage the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being fellow citizens of one country?
Well, it might, but you are, new to our region, but how many northerners are employed in the east or in the west? The answer is no. And if there are, there may be 10 laborers employed only.
All right, that is Amadu Bello. Interesting discussion they had there. Let me first get your first impression about this video before I share my questions.
Yep, I've seen this several times.
Yes.
And my first impression was that, what a crude, what a rugged, crooked, wild animal coming from the north. But till I studied about him more, and I studied about what was going on in Nigeria around that time, and I began to understand his perspective, where he was coming from. I would never agree with him, and I don't agree with him, but it allowed me to be able to see from his own worldview.
Okay, amazing. Wow, that's a major lesson though, right there. So, why did I bring this video? Because number one, while I was in my research, I stumbled on this video talking about tribalism in Nigeria. But I want to ask a question as regards, I think you made some remarks about it earlier today, but the identity that Nigerians have, people referring themselves to, I'm a northerner, I'm a southerner, or maybe first they want to introduce, okay, I'm Igbo, not I'm Nigerian. Is there a problem with that? People identify themselves more as northerners or as southerners or as Yorubas or as Igbos, and not necessarily as Nigerians. Like I'm Igbo before I'm Nigerian, or I'm Yoruba before I'm Nigerian. I'm a northerner before I'm a Nigerian. Is there an issue with that?
I don't see any issue with that, because that's just the truth. I don't see any issue with that. I think that's just the truth, because you are first of all born a Yoruba man or an Igbo man or an Hausa man before you even knew that you were living in Nigeria.
Okay.
There are a lot of people, the modern Nigerians or the millennial Nigerians, that are saying, no, we're Nigerians, that's it, forget about the rest of it. Well, good for them. Maybe that will help us to build a better homogeneous and harmonious Nigeria. But I think I would not see anything bad with people who say they are first Igbos too.
All right. So it's just the truth.
It's just the truth, because that's the truth. That's just the truth.
And them identifying as Igbos first, could that be one of the reasons behind the whole tribalism cliche in Nigeria, and people pushing for their own personal interest at the expense of national interest? So now, if it's okay, I'm asking this question because if I see myself as an Igbo first, then by consequence, I'm thinking about I'm seeing Igbo first and not necessarily Nigeria first, and I want to push for my own Igbo interests and not necessarily the Nigerian interest. Now, if I'm identifying myself as an Igbo man or as a Yoruba man first, is it not going to be counterproductive, or wouldn't it lead to what we're talking about that would hamper or hinder the national progress of our nation? I'm juxtaposing this as identifying ourselves as Nigerian first. Like, I should see myself as a Nigerian before I want to associate myself as an Igbo person. I'm just trying to compare both, and based on cause and effect.
Well, I think anybody that wants to see himself as an Igbo first is more sincere than the man that is saying that is Nigerian first. I think it's just a fact. The person is born in his locality. Somebody that is born in Abia or Anambra, the only people he was seeing growing up were only his own people, his own Anambra people or Abia people or Yoruba people, or like me. I was born in Idomila. The only people I was seeing around me were just my mother, my grandmother, my people around me in that village. I was actually an Idomila person before I became a Yoruba man. I was an Ijebu man before I became a Yoruba man. I didn't even know what Yoruba was all about when I was growing up. I only knew my village. I was an Idomila man. It's the same thing. It is natural. So why should I deny that just because I want to foster unity? I want to foster unity, but unity has to be done in an informed manner. And the unity that you want to bring about shouldn't erase my identity. Your own unity shouldn't, make me to cancel or to deny my identity, the identity that I first of all embraced. God made me to embrace that identity first before I even knew about the other identity. So I don't see it as, I think the more we give people the freedom to identify with their tribes, first of all, and to make their tribes their own personal preference, the more they are free to now make an informed decision as a free man that, yes, I know I'm an Igbo man or I'm a Yoruba person, but still, despite the fact that I'm Igbo or Yoruba, I now agree myself to be a Nigerian. I willingly embrace my Nigerian identity. So once I do that willingly, it's even more powerful than when you are making me to deny my Igbo or Yoruba identity just because of one other identity. Then that is what breeds rebellion inside me, because I want to identify with my own paternity that I got to know about first. And if you don't want me to do that first, I will feel abused or denied or oppressed, and that's when people talk about marginalization.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right, I would like to speak to our viewers who are watching us right now. Who would like to.
You don't want? Okay, then we'll come back to this Abadu Bello guy.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll come back to Abadu Bello. Yeah. So please, if you like to contribute to today's discussion, the way to do that is to search for Move Agent on Facebook Messenger, Move Agents, so Move Agents Magic on Facebook Messenger, and write to us that you would like to call into the studio, and in some minutes time we'll be receiving calls and contributions. All right, so let's go back to Sir Ahmadu Bello. One of the things that Ahmadu Bello mentioned, and I also want to weigh in, he spoke almost like a prophet. And when he was asked a question about I don't want to use it, maybe paraphrased unity, you know, and he said he doesn't see it happening, that people would see themselves as Nigerians, you know, because he was speaking as a northerner there, almost similar to what you're saying, that people identifying first as themselves. But now, with what you said, what you just described, and what Ahmadu Bello described there, are you on the same page, or because earlier you said you had to understand his worldview and where he was coming from? So, but you explaining the northern and the identity of people with their own tribe and coming from a national standpoint, are you communicating the same thing as Ahmadu Bello said?
No, we are not communicating the same thing, and that is not quite what Ahmadu Bello said as well.
Okay.
Ahmadu Bello didn't see the unity of Nigeria, or he didn't see the identification of Nigerians and Nigerians. He only says that he identifies and sees people being northerners first.
Yeah.
Because he was having a policy.
Okay.
That's why I say when I began to study history and study the whole thing that happened at that time, I began to understand him better. Mm-hmm. When he came to power under the campaign of North first, just like this American man now, Trump. Is Trump now saying America first, and people are still hailing him. So that's very, very similar to what this Ahmadu Bello was doing, because he came as a premier to campaigning. Actually, they call it northernization policy. That was his whole campaign, something, northernization. And what pushed him to do that was because at the time of independence, or just before independence, the people who were mostly educated, the most educated people in Nigeria were Igbos, actually. It is later on that, thanks to Awolowo, that the Westerners, the Yorubas, overtook and took that position. Mm-hmm. But before, it was the Igbos. And the Igbos were not just the most educated, they were the most enlightened because of their trade and because of their traveling. So they were traveling, and then they had a lot of them in the army. So imagine that out of in Nigeria, we have over 300 nationalities, right? Okay. And there were, let's say, by the time of independence, let's say we had 500. I forgot the number, but I will remember. I can find it. I think I wrote it in one of my books. Let's say we have 500 officers in Nigerian army. Out of that 500, no, let's even say let's say 100. Let's say we had 100 officers, top officers, the top-notch officers in Nigerian army. Out of that 100, 80 of them were Igbos. And we still have 300 other tribes. So 10 of them were Yorubas, maybe. And this was at the point, that was the kind of thing in the civil servants also.
Yeah, he mentioned this.
That is what he mentioned. And but in the kind of civil service, it was even worse. 7 people were Igbos in the civil servants, not of the East though, but of the North. Yes. 2 were Yoruba, and only one is a Northerner. And he was one of the enlightened and educated Northern at that time. So he came to say, no, this is not just. If we want to build one Nigeria, let's build one Nigeria, but after we raise up the North to come to the level of the West and of the East. Mm-hmm. That's what he was saying. And that's why they denied the independence. Because we were supposed to have gotten independence since 57 or 58. But they said, no, let us raise our people's level first. So that's what he was referring to. Mm-hmm. But it's not that. But when you listen to the person who is commenting and the commentators of today, mainly Igbos, they always refer to this speech as a proof of the hatred of the North towards the East.
Yeah.
But this is not hatred. This is a policy. But he was not just talking against the Igbos, he was talking against the Yorubas too. He was talking against all other Nigerians too. So I said I would never agree with him. But after studying what he was going through, what was happening, and if you then later on study his results, this man has done so much for the North. Through that Northernization, he was able to bring life and bring so much development to the North. But he was wrong by doing it at the expense of other Nigerians and the Igbos. He was supposed to create more opportunities for the Northerners, but not at the expense of the Igbos or other Nigerians. So also, it was not politically correct, but it was sincere and truthful. But it was not, I don't see it as hate. That time it was not hatred. And he was also making a point that Igbos, they don't try to pay attention to. And the point he was making is that the Igbos had a tendency of pushing themselves forward, even in a different territory.
Which is still today.
It is still today, okay. If it is still today, so which means if I were an Igbo person, I would have, the way an Igbo person would tell you is that, we are just industrious, we are just brilliant, we are smarter than everybody else, that's why. But if I were them, I would have advised them to say, no, teach your people to be more humble. Teach your people to be more meek. Teach your people to embrace more of service than dominance. If you will have the attitude of service and attitude of humility, you will be better embraced.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, so he's talking about equality within the Igbo people that needs to be addressed as well. But the person who was talking there, he was talking about hatred. He's not talking about what could we address. What do we need to also do better? They want other nations to change. They want other nationalities to change towards them.
To receive them more.
To receive them more. But they are not considering changing towards other nationalities in their own attitude and behavior as well. But personally, I don't see much problem with the Igbos. I don't see that as a big problem, really. I think most Igbos that I know are very humble people. The ones that I know, I don't know the ones I don't know, but the ones that I know and have met, they are very humble, and they have learned the lesson of being humble and submissive. I think Nigeria has evolved since that time. And most of the Igbos that are really successful, they have learned that lesson. They have, maybe because they have mixed up a lot with other nationalities and they have traveled. So you know that for you to really, have a headway, for you not to be hated, it's not going to be in Nigeria, it's not going to be in the North alone, it will be everywhere. You still need to show that, meekness. And most of the Igbos that I know, they are like that. They are very meek, they are very humble. I like them. I don't have any complaint about Igbo or anybody personally.
Well, I guess some Igbo people will beg to differ, because reading some of your
speeches, my talk,
and everything.
Yeah, my talk are always not about the Igbos, but about the Biafra iPod people. Yeah. It is the iPod people that I answered the way, because they have been ill-informed and they have been deceived. The iPod people. And I think that it's not only me who should be speaking against that, but I think that all normal Igbos should be speaking against the iPod people too.
The Igbo elite and intellectuals.
Yes.
That's great. Well, I don't know, do we have callers? All right, let's get our callers to contribute to this discussion. I think we'll put a full stop right there for today.
Yeah, because I think, talking about the iPod people and the Igbo people, I think personally that those people, the iPod people, and especially Nnamdi Kanu, they are destroying the reputation of the Igbos. And they are doing a disservice to the Igbo cause. And I think that, if I were an elite in the Igbo, I would have done my best to silence him. Because once you are able to get rid of him and be able to make Igbo's job normal, for the normal Igbos to come forward, because they have a lot of normal, intellectual, very good, with good mindset, with good values, Igbos. Let them put those people forward. Don't push the worst of man to be your leader, to speak for you, because he's not speaking for the Igbos. He's not speaking for all the Igbos. There are a lot of Igbos that don't agree with him. So those, if they could just make us to see a better picture of better Igbo men, I think a lot of a lot of controversy in regards to the Biafra we just died down and the Igbos too.
That's right.
I think we have a caller.
All right, we have a caller already. Good evening, caller.
Hello, good evening, Dr. No, DSA, good evening.
Good evening, Peter. How are you doing from Belgium?
I'm very, very fine, DSA.
It was nice to meet you in Germany the other day.
Oh, I think I've seen, I've not really, I've seen film myself. I don't know how it was awesome. It was so beautiful. It was so, I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to know you. I'm so happy to come to see you in Germany, and it was a privilege for me to see you, and I'm so happy. I still feel it today. Till now, I mean, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Happy New Year, sir. Happy New Year, Dr. Anu.
Thank you very much,
Happy New Year to everybody there, the team, the SA team, family, and everybody. Yeah, once again, live. I was waiting for this when I saw the advert today, and I said, this is going to be a live. The other one since the whole week was a recording one, which I was still following, listening to, and a very interesting topic again. And I'm so happy that we are talking about this. We are enlightening the people. Some people, one of the biggest challenges today in Nigeria is a challenge of issues that people don't have information about. And when I want to give example, for example, let me first of all give example about the country I'm living, for example. When Nigeria is talking about tribe, talking about ethnic group, talking about oppression, even a country that I live is about less than 12 million people. At a point, a couple of years ago, we didn't have a government because of Belgium, the French side and the French side and the Walloon side. They were thinking about separation. And I live in a Flemish side. They don't, one way or the other, they don't see themselves as one too. But there's one thing that put them together is the principle that they have, the law and the the law and the value that they have. But somehow they discover. So Nigeria only just the ignorance that is in it. The ignorance is too high. And to cram it all, it comes from what the people are hearing every day about tribe, about religion, especially from the religious aspect of it. And this is a very big problem. Yes, there is a video that is going viral now. One priest, I don't know whether it's Igbo or Northern or what, he make a pronunciation about the problem that we have. I think he make a reflect to what the video that you did about the people that steal Nigeria money, about few people from AFCON, that a video just came out. I think it was from your own video. He saw that the man was giving a kind of the problem that we have is not from outside, it's not from the Yoruba, it's just some group of people. When I look at the comments that Nigerians are giving comment, they are calling the man racist. They are calling the man racist. They are calling him that why he didn't measure the Fulani, the Yosa. This man was just making a general important, giving enough important information to the people, and they couldn't see it. They couldn't see it. And when I look at the comments, it was, I said, my God, where are we going to start from? Where are people going to grow up? Because we don't see ourselves as the same. But the only way you have explained in your book, you have explained again that the beauty that we have, because we are population. Our population is really helping. And when I look at it now, I look at the Igbos, they are so in business. If we separate, what are they going to do? There will be a problem. There will be a lot of, disadvantage for them as well. So it's better for us to have understanding together, to have a law, a unified law that unifies us together, separate. So it's beautiful for us to respect each other and to do things together. And again, about the video you show, a new show about Sir Ahmadu Bello, I mean, that was then, and it makes sense when you listen to how he is there. I've seen that video before, but I couldn't get understanding because I was thinking that it was so racist then. But your explanation made me to get the picture of what he was talking about then, that in 1950 something, this is what was happening, and this is what he intended to do. And that was it. Then when I saw the video, I was not happy that he said that. But the biggest challenge that we have today is the religious body, because they separate everything. They separate us like from not from the earth for the religious aspect of it. Muslim and Christian, religious, middle bed, and so on and so forth. And the way they teach, the way they pray, everybody come to say on the television now escalate everything. And from Niger Delta, we own the oil, we have this, the outside don't have anything. This thing now make us more problem. But the only solution that we have today is going to be when we get the understanding that we are coming together. Amalgamation is very important, and there's a reason why God put us together. Even though we speak different tribes, we understand each other, you know, it will be better for us. And to cram it all, to end with this point, you know, they say I'm so happy that I know you. I'm doing one or two things, try to discover my purpose and my passion. You know, I have a problem. I want to say this for everybody should hear, because it's going to be testimony or kind of, you know, I complained to you the last time that this is what I was feeling. You give a prayer for me, and that night before I came to Belgium, everything just disappeared.
Ah, you mean when we met in Germany?
When we met in Germany, yes.
Wow.
Till today, I've never experienced that kind of thing in my life before. When people talk about this thing, a miracle happened, or you didn't pour anything in my head. You just hold my hand and had agreement with me for less than 3 minutes, and that night I feel very strange relief. And till now, I have not felt anything again. Again, another challenge that I was having when I came back was my uncle that is a pastor in Nigeria. These are the things that we are talking about. He opened a group messenger. It was about 40 people from his church. So I was sending messages, sending my messages, and there was a nice comment from his members and everything. Just a couple of days ago, he started challenging me. He started telling me, commenting and telling me to stop. And I should not talk to the men of God like that, because he too is a pastor, you know. So I write him, I make him understand what I'm doing. I'm not doing it for any man. I'm not under covenant with any Jew or pastor. So I'm in covenant with God. So anything I'm doing, you should just leave me alone. So he was using some threatening words, like if they sue me for labor, for this. I said, okay, we are waiting. I told him that we are waiting, so let them do it. So the whole world will not hear what they are doing. I said there are a lot of video. You should go to YouTube and listen to a lot of video and see a lot of video that is there. That the Anyash is already open. So it's not me that is going to open there, but we're going to open it more and more. This year is going to be a win, you know. So what I did is, he didn't allow me to rest till this morning. He commented on one of a video, a pastor, I mean, it was not a good comment. I just blocked him from, first of all, he removed me from this group chat, because he don't want me to enlighten the people anymore. So he removed my name from the group chat. So when I saw this morning, I said, because I have Facebook with him, and he sent me some messages, and I just blocked him immediately. So this is the challenge that we're going to face, because these people, they don't want to let it go. And they are deceiving the people more. These are the people that is deceiving the people, that is making the people that are making Nigeria difficult. And they are supposed to enlighten Nigeria that we are one with love. God has brought us together for a reason, for a purpose. You know, we need to understand each other with love, with all kind of things that they're supposed to say, but they are trying not to. They are trying to do something else. So DSA. So I'm so happy that I met you and I got my miracle. Thank you, DSA.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. You know, speaking about this tribalism, Pastor, I was thinking that there's really no marginalization in Nigeria as such, and there's no, I think you've also made a mention of it, or tribalism, because if it's to divide the loot of Nigeria, there's no Yoruba, Igbo.
All of them are looting.
They're all looters. If it's about, taking advantage of any business opportunity, there is no Igbo. So this conversation is really just with people who are, the commoners, and they have nots, really. So the imagination we have in Nigeria is between people who have and people who don't have.
Who don't have, yes. That's what I believe. And when I was talking about people identifying more with their tribe,
yes,
is one no case, or with their own nationality, I mean tribe and nationality. I don't mean north, south. Mm-hmm. That is not south. That's not nationality. That's geographical. Yeah. So I'm personally against northerner or southerner. Mm-hmm. I think that is what brings a division also politically, because they will say, oh, northerners are this and that. No, we don't have northerners, because most of the people they call northerners are actually middle belt.
Yeah.
They will say, oh, North is Muslim. No, it's not, because a lot of the Northerners are Christians. Yeah. So, but your nationality, I'm not against you identifying with your nationality your root before Nigeria. I think we have a caller.
All right. Okay, let's receive the caller. Hello, caller.
Good afternoon, DSA. Good afternoon, Dr. Anu.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, I'm calling from Spain.
Can we know your name?
I'm calling from Spain.
Yeah, thank you. Can we know your name?
Okay, my name is Lucas.
Lucas.
See.
Yes, how are you, Lucas?
Fine, thank you. It's been a long time, sir.
Yeah, it's nice to hear your voice again.
Yeah. DSA, Happy New Year once.
Thank you, sir.
Happy New Year. DSA, sorry, please, I have just a 3 question that I want to ask.
Okay.
Maybe you will enlighten us on that question. Firstly, I want to ask about this IPOB people. They say they want to part away from Nigeria.
Yes.
See, so can you tell me the disadvantage and the advantage? And the second one,
yes,
I don't know, because I know it's be a fool for them to be saying that Buhari has been there, they went to Sudan to go and bring another person. Maybe you will explain much better. And the thirdly, the one that said, I'm still expecting you. What are they saying? Oh, this pastor they are making. They prophesize. They are still because I'm still expecting your prophecy that at least some of them they have been saying what is going to happen this year, but we expecting yours from you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lucas. I will answer now.
Interesting, yeah. So with this, the first question he asked is about disadvantages of Biafra. I think you have a lot.
Yeah. Concerning the Biafra, what is the disadvantage of Biafra leaving Nigeria, or iPod or Biafra leaving Nigeria? I have 20 pages. Is it 20? No, 2,000, over 2,000, 20,000. 22,000 words article.
Yeah,
22,000 words article. That's like a whole book that I have written to back my argument out why it is a death mission for Biafra to leave Nigeria. It's a death mission. A death mission. Remember that. If Biafra leaves Nigeria, there will be civil war in Biafra. Remember that. There will be division, more division among the Igbos than it is right now in Nigeria. At least Nigeria is a constraint. There is still some constraint of Yorubas, Igbos, who are constraining the oligarch and the elite of the Igbos who really want to break something. Can you imagine somebody like Nnamdi Kanu becoming the leader of Igbo? The Igbo people will kill him. Some of the Igbo people themselves will kill him. I mean, there will be, I mean, can you imagine? Go and ask Igbo. There is no more divided people in Nigeria than the Igbos. The Igbos are more divided than the Yorubas. The Igbos are more divided than the Hausas. The Igbos are more divided than the Fulanis. The Igbos are more divided than the Edo people. They are the most divided. Now, give them their own segment. You will see what will begin to happen. It's bad news. I mean, up to now, they cannot even reach unity almost about anything among themselves. So for Igbos to be thinking about having a separate nation, first of all, the Igbos need to first of all work on their values and be able to work on their character, or work on their own nation, work on their own people, and become one first before they could now talk about getting out. Yeah. But apart from that, you know, Igbo itself is what they call it, lock land, or what they call it, landlocked area. So it is very going to be difficult because on the majority, they are surrounded by Nigeria and Cameroon. And you are thinking that Nigerians hate Igbos or Nigerians don't like Igbos, go to Cameroon. Ooh, the attitude, the way the Cameroonians are so passionate, the way they dislike Igbos, you in fact. So not just the Cameroon, but other countries also in the region. So if you know, there is a lot of, you just go, you know what you should do? Go to Google and write Sunday Adelaja, my reflections.
My reflection on my thoughts on Biafra.
Yeah, my thoughts on Biafra, yeah. Just go to YouTube, Google and write Sunday Adelaja, my thoughts on Biafra. Yeah. You will see all the articles that I've written about that.
Yeah, it's on sundayadelajablog.com
as well. But they are in parts, many parts.
Yeah, good.
I think there is another question.
That's the first question on Biafra. I think the second question was, I can't recollect now. I think he asked the question. Well, let me try to recollect the second question. I lost track of that.
I think this Biafra is the second question, no? The second one also is about Biafra. I think he's talking about the advantages or what?
That was his first question.
The first question, okay. Yeah. He's talking about separation. That's the one question. Then the other question is about Buhari and
Sudan.
Sudan, yeah?
That was the second question.
Yeah, I think he wants to know if it is true or what?
Something like that. If it was true, what you have to say about that? Well,
that Buhari is Jubril.
Yeah, he's Jubril from
Sudan. People keep this in record. You know, I'm speaking right now on a video web, you know, worldwide web conference. This is live. Quote me. Anybody who believes that story that Buhari is Jubril
from Sudan,
he is not just sick. He has to go to psychiatric hospital for examination. He himself is as sick as Nnamdi Kanu himself, because you know Nnamdi Kanu is delusional. He's a sick man, and anybody who would believe what that man is saying, and especially that the Buhari is Jubril, that is not the real Buhari, that person should just go for examination. That's the only thing I have to say about that one. You are a patient already. You know there are a lot of people who are mad. Only there are very few who are roaming. And that thing I heard it from Babichaye Victor. But this one, they are roaming, They are roaming in the internet like crazy. They are not just mad, but they are roaming all over the internet. If you believe that Buhari is Jubril, you just go and check yourself inside. Inside this psychiatric hospital. That's my. I think he had a third question.
The third one was about prophecy. You were saying people are giving prophecies and you have to.
I have to also give one. He wants to hear my own. Lucas.
What was the prophecy?
He wants to hear my own. I don't know. Does he need it?
I guess.
Or I should just do it because people want to do it. But I don't believe that God speaks only at the end of the year now. Or God speaks. With God, there is even no year, Papa. No year, no time, nothing. Everything. Time is important, but only for the earth. Time is needed only for the earth here.
So you'd have a list.
God is not put in any.
You'd have a list of what God is saying concerning.
A list for the 2020.
For the 2020.
Yeah, you know, God is not somebody that is just, you know, it's not like an animal that is put in a cage and his mouth is locked up before January 1st. So when the January 1st, they will release his mouth like this, unlock the padlock, and he will speak, and then they put the padlock again. That is exactly what is happening in the shrines. You know, in the shrines, that's what happens. Paganism.
Yeah.
You go to the shrine, you go and do the libation and the sacrifice, and then the gods will speak. It is paganism we have brought to Christianity.
So the whole prophetic
it is paganism, Jerry. Where do you see it in the New Testament? Even in the Old. It is paganism they have brought here. Paganism. Now paganism. Oh. You might want to give direction to your people. You might want to cast a vision for them. But to be saying it's God who is speaking something every year and saying some prophetic something, it is manipulation.
They have lists, you know.
A whole list. I have some of those lists now. the list from Suleiman and from Joshua and Adeboye. I mean, can you imagine what Adeboye is? It has become an embarrassment. There will be earthquake everywhere and somewhere, some flood or something. I mean,
and then governments will change.
Yeah, government will change.
It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's a shame. You don't have anything to say. Make you keep quiet now.
It's a shame. No.
Why is it by force?
Do we have callers?
The oracle has spoken. There will be earthquake. And there will be change of government.
Yeah.
In every year, when there are minimum 20 or 40, 50 countries every year, every given year that are having change of government. 50 countries every year. Every year, you don't need prophecy.
No, I watched it and I was.
You watched it? Me, I didn't even waste my time. I just when I see those prophets, I just pass. I let it pass. I think we have a caller.
You have a call already.
Okay.
I was embarrassed. No, really.
You watched it?
Yeah, I was embarrassed that
a whole big man like this.
Man like you're not. You should know that every year there are earthquakes and tornadoes and all of that. Those things happen.
He just needed to say something by force.
It's just, and they can say Nigerians should pray that you should not put in Nigeria. And I'm like, earthquake will not happen in Nigeria because
we don't even have any tendency to it. When was the last time it happened?
Don't do your research. There are certain nations that are on the tectonic plates that are prone to earthquakes.
It's not because of your prayer.
It's not your prayer.
Anyway, I think we have a caller.
Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening, DSA.
Yes, sir. Who is calling from where?
Good evening and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, sir. Please, who is this?
This is Gideon. I'm calling from Abuja.
Oh, all the way from homeland. I'm always excited to receive a call from home. Gideon, it's been a while. You have not called for a long time.
I have been trying to call, but I think I'm lucky today. The phone gets through.
You always speak some sense. Me, I want to hear your wisdom today.
So thank you very much I think I'm infected with your laughter.
I see that your laughter begins to resemble my own.
So thank you. I'm actually excited to hear this topic today. So you may not know, you came to Abuja many years ago and you preached at the National Stadium.
Yes, sir. Yes, I did.
Yeah. I was there. I heard you. That was where I saw you, and I heard your message the first. So I sometimes, if I hear and see the comments of some people, I guess they don't, because you've always been like this. It's not that you have changed.
That's what they are saying. That's what they are selling to them. Their papas are telling them that it's because I have backslidden, I became antichrist. That's why I started speaking like this. That before I was normal. They don't know me.
I heard you live and direct, and the kind of the message you preached that day, I knew this person was a different person. And after suffering many years, I thank God I was able to follow up, and God helped me to meet you, sir. God
opened your eyes and gave you deliverance from Nigerian Christianity.
Certainly. I was actually in the slave camp. But thank God I'm delivered.
Wow, thank God. Thank God.
So what I wanted to say concerning the division or the tribalism that the media, like Dr. Anu was talking about, they are actually contributing. I am from Kaduna State, and I from Java local government, specifically at Kaduna South, and then we live with Fulani people. In fact, there are some of our story we hear from the Fulani. These people know our grandparents, they live with them till tomorrow. We are basically, our cash crop in Java local government is ginger. And then the Fulani people always come, they stay with us. We like them because of the manure.
Yeah.
There is their relationship between our people. In fact, a number of times, the Fulani people had to settle scores between brothers and brothers amongst us. So each talk about the Fulani herdsmen crisis, to me, it is strange from where I'm coming.
Because you are better informed. You know them.
Yes, I know them. They live with us. So I wonder, maybe there's something, and the media is not doing.
They are not helping. They are not helping matters.
Yes, nobody is going there to go and investigate, look at how these people are really. They only hear the propaganda. Sometimes if you hear some things in the news, it's like you should go and start looking for arms and ammunition. But if you go home, it is the same Fulani people that you will see, they will welcome you, you welcome them, you live like brothers. I don't know where this whole...
because they are politicians. It is the PDP politicians that are mainly behind those things.
And the unfortunate thing is that you go to our churches, they are not helping matters. Because the way they will preach to you, the way they will tell you about it, when you come out of the church and look at these people, you know, you don't know where to place what you heard from the church and also seeing physically outside there. Because if I want to farm ginger and I don't have a Fulani man to give me manure, no matter the fertilizer I will use, it will show, the difference will show at the end of the day during harvest. And I don't know, maybe the government is not also trying hard to promote this kind of gesture and understanding between farmers and herders. Because in our place, you will see herders passing with their cattle, but they will never invade your farm. No problem. If there's any issue between a farmer and a herdsman, it is our local district head that will resolve it, and nobody will hear that there was any problem, any issue at any problem at all. I don't know. Maybe what we are dealing with, I guess, mostly is a security challenge. We have criminals that are doing some things, and people are not coming out to say the truth. Nobody is investigating the real story. They are just going issue of tribe and ethnicity to cause division in the land. But I don't think it is the way it is on ground. We that are here, we know what we are seeing is entirely different from what the media is telling us. So I think we need to encourage the media to do more. Most of them, they don't do their research. They just come up with any breaking news and then magnify it, because the only way it could spread faster, it is when you now use a particular ethnic group and make it a religious thing. And so you are talking, you talked about, I saw the interview on with Tafawa Balewa. This man, Tafawa Balewa, if anybody will come up to tell me that
Ahmed Bello.
If anybody would tell me anything bad about this man, I will say the person is because he doesn't know this man.
Yes.
I had a mentor, somebody I consider like a father, I'm sick, and a Christian from Ekiti State. This man told me he lived in the house of Ahmadu Bello.
Wow.
It was the man that paid his school fees till he finished his school.
Wow.
Get to the university. And then the man, there was no threat. Nobody ever threatened him or advised him or even called him and tell him to be a Muslim.
Are you serious?
The man is from Ekiti State.
Wow.
He retired as a pamphlet in the federal ministry here.
Wow.
You know, so having this story from somebody that lived in his house There's no statement that this man will come out and make that will make me see the man differently, because what he did, and the man told me it's not only him. There are a lot of people that were living in the house of this Ahmadu Bello that he trained, and none of them was compelled to become to change his religion or to do anything. So I think he's a nice man. What you are saying, I agree with what you said concerning the man. It's something he's trying to address, not really his personality.
You see, I didn't even know that, but I studied the history of, that's why knowledge, that's what research and knowledge will do for you. I just know that, no, it is not, you shouldn't come to a conclusion just because of one fragment of the video.
That is it. That is it. And so last thing I want to really say, I have registered for the upcoming event. Who am I? Why am I?
Who am I? Yes. Who am I?
And I want to advise everybody that cares to go for this, because after going through a whole lot in the hands of the slave masters, I think I need to really come out completely to know my purpose. And I key into your vision for the year clarity, because I want to have clarity of vision for the year 2020. Thank you so
beautiful.
much. I look forward to the program. I can't wait.
Thank you so much, Gideon.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Blessings.
Wow, great contributions.
You see what knowledge does, wisdom. I don't know the man. I don't know anybody that knows him. But just when you are well educated and informed, you will not be deceived by some media outcry out there.
Yeah.
You just know better. That's why I told you that. Bring it on. Bring the video on. That it is those things that guy was saying in the beginning, the commentator about hatred. Yeah. It's for the lower people. He himself is ill-informed, and he's just a product of his own environment too.
Yeah, I mean, you said a lot about the falling state of our educational system. It comes down to that. To that point.
People are not educated.
That were not educated. We have a caller already. All right, let's receive the caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, Happy New Year, dear sir, Dr. Arno.
Happy New Year, sir.
Viewers, this is Mr. Uche, Pastor
Uche, Pastor Uche from Wales.
Aberdeen.
Why do I always call it Wales? Aberdeen is Scotland. Why I always call it Wales? I always do the same thing.
You mentioned the
yes. Aberdeen is in Scotland now.
Yes. Anyway, nice topic today. I just let me just lend my voice.
In fact, when this program was going on, I was praying that I pray that this Pastor Uche will call today. Wow. In my heart, I was praying like that.
Anyway, I was just looking at somebody like myself. I was born back in Nigeria, spent almost 18 years, part of my early life at the north, and then moved to Lagos and spent about 10 years before coming to Europe for the past 20 years or so. So I've had my life was balanced. I can speak Hausa better than I can even speak Igbo.
Wow.
I want to say diversity is not a bad thing. And loyalty to one's tribe also is not a bad thing. But sometimes our loyalty to our tribe, sometimes we allow resentment to take over that loyalty. And at the root of resentment we know resentment is a product of every deep grievances. If there have been somebody, you communicate it to somebody else, and an Igbo to me, and then the person says, Igbo. Another person says, Igbo. It is passed on like that.
That is so true. You said it so well.
I happened to adopted a Yoruba girl.
Wow.
And, lived in Sweden, from Sweden, and then moved back to UK now. I always see myself not as a tribal person.
Yes.
I felt if Christ has done some work in your life,
yes,
you look at people for who they are.
The content of people's character.
You are not looking at them. I used to tell people, I say, when I call you my brother, I don't say it just because I want to say it. Because you are saved, because you are a child of God. The connection between me and you is found in the blood of Jesus Christ. So, and that's what drives me. And it's not whether you are Yoruba or you are Fulani or you are that. I wish to say, let me just speak up for my brothers, the Igbos, but not on the tribal sense.
Yes.
I want to say the average Igbo man, at the peak of his mind, he says factualization like Abraham Maslow says, his theory of need.
Yes.
The Igbo man always look at self-actualization. He worked for it. That's why when I was listening to what Ahmad Bello said, I said, I think there is misunderstanding here.
Yes.
The Igbo man will become a laborer. True, he become a laborer. But who want to live life? He will not want to remain a laborer all his life. He's trying to.
He wants to become a leader.
He wants to grow, advance. Nobody is employed to a job and want to remain as a clerk.
Yes.
You want to grow, you want to advance.
But the Northerners were like that. In their mentality, once you put them somewhere, that's what they want to remain for the rest of their life.
Which somehow is religious.
Yes, religion has affected them. Yes. Their religion says that whatever you find yourself in life, it is Allah, inshallah, inshallah.
Inshallah, yes. There's what we used to say, Allah. That means if God kind of accepts what you, if God approves, I will go. But he is contented where he is. But the average Igbo man who come in as a laborer would look forward to a day he will want to improve himself,
right,
and advance there. And that attracts hatred in itself and jealousy in itself. Of course, there will be some Igbo people that would bash their way through to get to the top. That is undeniable. It's everywhere. It's in every tribe.
Yes.
And like I said, it begins with that resentment. Look at him. I used to smile when I remember what happened in Jos. One Hausa man said this. He said he was there. They brought a guy from the village from Igbo land as a servant. And he was still carrying what they call the dandokos, which means those that help to carry things,
like the wheel driver, or what they call it, wheelbarrow.
Yes. So he was doing this, and this guy was brought from the village. And after he served his master, obedient, humbled himself, walked there, sleep on the bare floor for 6-7 years. And the master gave him money, set him up and said, thank you, just like an apprentice. And from there, he began to grow. Now, the same man that was pushing wheelbarrow was still pushing his wheelbarrow all those years. And now he's pushing things for this young man.
Wow.
So, in him is, how do you people do it? Then he kind of pointed to people who he saw came in as a servant, and now they are boss. They are now become owners of business. Not one place, not two places. This is the average Igbo man.
Yes.
And I look around me in Nigeria, I said, oh, I have a house in Jos, I have in Lagos, I have in State. I'm not doing it because I want to show off. All the years I've lived with the Yoruba people, I accepted them. But you won't see an Hausa man go to Igbo land and build.
Yeah.
Somehow the Igbos are more open. I wasn't doing it just to show off so that you know that no. There is a need there. And if I could invest my money there, provide accommodation and shelter for somebody, and the person, of course, will pay me for it. It wasn't to show off. but to solve a need. And that is what Igbo people do. You could see them go to a village where there is no chemist or pharmacist, and they start something. They provide a service.
Yes.
And wherever there is a need, if you can solve that need, you will make money.
Of course.
And enterprising.
Enterprising. They just they want to see a niche opportunity. They grab it. Oh, there is nobody selling bread here. If I could sell bread and provide bread here, everybody will buy from me. And this is all there is. Like as I said when I started, diversity is not a bad thing. Loyalty to one's tribe is not a bad thing. But let us not allow resentment to
spoil it.
To spoil it. What God have done with us is wonderful. I appreciate our diversity, and I see whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Fulani, whether you are Hausa person, if you are honest and truthful, and especially if you are a believer, I will embrace you. I'm never going to talk about where you come from. And so I think,
especially with your experience, since you have experience with all the major tribes in Nigeria.
Yeah, so this is the things that the country have to work on. If there is any resentment towards any tribe, it is down on the leaders to say, okay, this is the thing we don't like about you. And maybe that tribe, their leaders will not go back and tell the people, can we really work on this?
Yes.
Because this is what the other tribe don't like about us. And if we can do that, I tell you, it will be beautiful. We will live happily. But I still pray that we will see that happen.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Anyway, thank you. That's just a little thing I just want
You know, I didn't know that you had this experience, but in my heart, in my spirit, I was just crying out for you that I don't know why, but I just know that man, this Pastor Uche, if he has to call late to contribute. I didn't know you had this experience. It's the Holy Spirit.
No, I grew up, moved to Lagos. I lived in Lagos and then lived in part of Ogun State, which is where they call around the Agbara area.
Yes.
I spent considerable time there, and before coming to the UK.
And so, also, you are able to bring enlightenment and understanding to the mindset of the Igbos, so that everybody will know, so that there will be no misunderstanding.
It's just the self-actualization. He comes in, he just don't want to remain a servant forever. He just wants to see what he can do to improve himself. That's the real truth. When I became a pastor, when I became a pastor, I came in with school sat. I knew with school sat, and here I am pastoring people who themselves are graduates. How can I improve? I have to improve myself. Do well. I have to go to school. I have to go to university. I have to improve myself, and that is the typical Igbo man. He's not going to fold his hand and remain there with his school cert and mixing he was and it was every time he speaks English. So you have to improve yourself if you're going to do well. That I did, and that is the average Igbo man. Did
you do that in Nigeria?
I went to university in the UK. I went to university in the UK. I did my first graduate and then my postgrad studies and then my certification because I'm a chartered accountant as well. So that's how it went. I had to progress. I will not just fold my hand and just, what am I going to do? Well, I've received Jesus. It's not okay. And there's no need. Managing it, anointing covers everything. Anointing covers everything, but you have to be fast. You have
to wisdom, a lot of wisdom. I knew we were going to get a lot of wisdom if you could come in today.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Much, sir. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Uche. Can we see that book, The Law of Difference? I won't just make it.
The Law of Difference.
Yeah, The Law of Difference. I don't know. Is that the final call for today? Do we say okay? We have
No, I think we still have call. Yeah.
So talking about wisdom and the law of difference. One of the things that you said in this book is that wisdom is the ability to recognize difference, the ability to see difference and spot differences. And I think one very good point he mentioned is that, I mean, we have to sit down and make an analysis
of all our ethnic groups,
yes,
and see the differences and the advantages,
and then what are the
and balance them up.
Yes, what are the positive qualities in the Igbos? I think that's what we're meant to do as Hausas or as Yorubas.
That's exactly what I was trying to do in that book.
In the
diversity, the beauty,
yeah. Analyze it. Okay, what can we emulate from them? All right, what can we learn from them? What can we adopt to them? What do we need to change in ourselves instead of just going for these people are like this and they're like that? That's not an informed way of living, and I think that brings us back to our educational system.
I think you have a caller. We have a.
Do you have a caller already? Hello, caller.
Happy New Year.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year, Dr. Joe.
Happy New Year to you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Brother Vincent from Mexico.
Oh, it's been a while.
Amazing. We have calls from everywhere.
I've been, while you were in Germany, following you up,
Yes.
So really, we are really happy that you are really making impacts.
Thank you, sir.
Thank God. Yes, I'm an Igbo man.
Yes.
From Imo State.
Okay.
Oru East local government.
Oru East.
Yes, Oru East local government.
Yes.
Formerly Oru, then we have Oru East and Oru West now.
Right.
Sorry. We share border with the Anambra State.
Yes.
Yes. Just to tell you that I'm an Igbo man, core Igbo man.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say right now is not much. I want to tell you more about the Igbos. Probably you don't know.
Okay.
Like in my own areas, that's what we call Eba boy. Eba boy is like serving, like.
It's like apprenticeship.
But that's why I want to know why people keep on saying that the Igbos are not united. Igbos, we are the only tribe in Nigeria or anywhere in the world where apprenticeship is common.
Yes.
Like I could tell you that, like, my father served somebody, and I know how many people who have served my father. So if there is no unity among us, how can? I didn't hear you, sir.
No. We are hearing you.
Okay. If there is no unity among the Igbos, how can somebody from Anambra take his child to somebody in Enugu to train him for 6-7 years, and after serving that person for 6-7 years, they will establish that person with shop, with money or something else to continue his life? The Hausas, they don't do that. The Yorubas, they don't do that. So where this notion that the Igbos are not united is coming from? The Igbos are the most united. Look at what just happened recently with Nnamdi Kanu. He was detained, and before they springed up and bailed him out.
Do you want to know where the notion of Igbos are not united is coming from?
Yeah, please tell me, sir, because we are following you.
It is a political concept. Politically, it is true that the Igbos, they cannot find a common language politically. Prove me wrong, though.
Yeah, politically, yes, because actually, even before the white men.
Hello, Vincent.
Yes, sir. Even before the white men came. Yeah, the Igbos see that we have our own system of government. We don't believe in kinship or somebody.
Yes.
The highest thing now, yes. If the highest thing I can accord you is chief, like I would say Chief Doctor Sunday Adelaja.
Yes.
We cannot, like, I was watching one of your programs the other day about prostrating, about like slavery. No, the Igbos, we don't do that.
Yes.
So, like, politically, yes. Politically, we are not organized to say that, yes, but we are organizing on our own way. That I am my own guy in my own father's compound. My own father's compound from my Madu family. I'm the first child of that family. So the family, they cannot do anything in that family without consulting with me. And that's how we roll, right from when I know or when I get to know things about the Igbos.
Households, right?
Yes, and each village have village. Like my father now is my village head in Oru East in Amama. He is the village head. So if we have any dispute in my clan, that dispute must come to my father's house. Then if my father cannot handle it, my father will not send dispute to another higher chief. Then if
yeah, we're hearing you.
If that higher chief cannot handle that issue, now the higher chief now will now marry court, which is the highest court then, before they, then that is how we are up to now. So if that organization, for us to really organize, because frankly speaking, Dr. Sunday, I'm not all that educated, sorry to say this, but to the glory of God, I have common sense. Through you, I have been following you for the past 2-3 years now. I have achieved a lot. It's not because of anything. I'm not trying to praise you on social media, but within me, I know what you have planted in me.
Amen.
Formerly, politically, I wasn't interested in politics. Never. But through your education, through your eye-opening, I was able to enroll in political party, register, made an impact.
Wow.
Amazing.
Glory to God.
Yes, I was in Nigeria for 8 months.
Yeah, I remember you told the story. You called after you came back.
Yes, I was in Nigeria for 8 months just because of I listened to so much belief that the impact, the ideas you are giving me personally, I don't care, personally, the idea you are giving me personally, my dad, my brothers, nobody, even books that I have read or YouTube videos that I have watched, none of them have given me such liberty. Now, another thing again, I'm digressing. Another thing again, sir. I have a foundation, our Brothers Foundation, and this foundation was born through you. Then I went to Nigeria. The little money that I have, I powered the foundation, buy medications from here, bought ambulances, like I told you, bought 2 ambulances from US, shipped them to Nigeria, bought some drugs from here, went to Nigeria, recruit some nurses. With your idea too, I was able to recruit nurses. I call the nurses without job. Because in my village, in my town, in my community, we have a lot of nurses who undergo nursing training and as registered nurses or as auxiliary nurses. But when they get married, they stop practicing their job. They stop practicing what they learn. So now in my own village, in my own community, we have a lot of nurses without jobs. So what I did was I created a job for them. I called few of them. I said, you don't have a job, okay, I'll empower you. I give them the basic vital science kits, just like that. Give them drugs like paracetamol and the rest, just like that. But at the end of the day, right now, I don't have the fund again to continue with my foundation.
Okay.
So yesterday I was listening to one of your program, and that was a book you were saying on how to source funding for anything you want to do.
Yes.
How to find money for your dream.
How to find money for your dream.
How to come again, sir?
How to find money for your dream.
Yes. So now that book, I will find that book.
There will be a training.
No matter how, I must find it. I must find it. Even in Nigeria, I can send somebody to look for it in Nigeria for me, because in Mexico here is going to be different.
Yeah, you can find it either in Nigeria, and you can find the electronic one on Okada Books or on Amazon.
Yes, okay, your electrician is on Amazon.
Oh, but it's also with Chioma. You know Chioma in Nigeria. You have the telephone number. I used to show the telephone number.
Yes, I will search for it. I think I will find it. It's
okay.
For me. Once I go online, I will find it.
Okay.
So, sir, frankly speaking, I really understand that the Igbos are not united in one way or the other. But at least if we are given the opportunity, a lot of things will change in Nigeria.
Amen.
A lot of things will change in Nigeria.
I agree with you.
And I'm ready, frankly speaking, ready to work with you anytime, any day. Anytime, any day. Anytime, even if I'm not going to nationally, but from my own community, my own village, my own kindred, I'll be working with you from there.
Amen.
Right from the grassroots.
Amen. Beautiful.
Now, because another thing, DSA, something I understand, right? Like I said about education. Few years back, like 20 years ago, my community, we don't have borehole. We drink water from the well, and the well, due to my own area in Imo State, we are from the dry area. From the dry area, So to some borehole is very difficult, right? Then what water we consume is water from the road. Like when we rent, then the water goes into pits that we dig. Every family have that pit.
Yes.
You dig a pit that collects rain from the streets or from the gutter to that pit. Then we throw alum into the pit. Then alum will filter the water somehow. That is what the water we drink, and that is the water we use in cooking.
Yes.
Many things. Then now that you have inspired me to go home and look at my people and see how they are living, I find out through my research that a lot of us have blindness issue.
Yes.
Due to the waterborne disease, a lot of eye problems. Now, as an individual, I cannot handle it. I run tests. I find out there's a lot of cataracts, a lot of different kind of blindness affecting my people just because of what the water we consume years back. And now I have confronted my village heads. They don't want to hear. I've confronted the local government chairman like I'm talking what he's not understanding. So it's just confusing, man.
No, but that knowledge that you got is enough to set them free.
Okay.
Yes, because if you just come and educate them and tell them that, okay, listen, let's gather the whole village or the community and just do some basic enlightenment classes and lectures for them. Why the worms? Because it's a worm. There are worms that are in that water they are drinking. They don't know about it. No. So it is that thing, that water that is that is causing that blindness. I've heard about this situation before. There is a brother, I think it is Davidson or so, that went to your area, community, and he was telling me about this problem, that there is drought, and because of that, people are drinking, it's not easy to get the well, and the water that they are drinking that is causing the blindness. I've heard about this problem before. And he was telling me that, it is exactly what you said now, that we need to educate the people and we need to find alternative. It was even, I don't remember, somebody even called to this program and was telling me that there is an alternative way to bring water, to provide that water and resolve that problem. So there are ways to resolve that problem.
DSA, sir, you see, the thing is that I went home, we have my community, we have about 5 to 6 boreholes right now. Okay, from the Millennium Development Goal, from the European Union, from the senator representing my place, he built a borehole, but out of the 5 boreholes, none of them is working.
Okay.
Then I question it. They turn it political. They begin to attack me. I say, how can we have these things littered all over the places? Okay, I'm a solar engineer, solar consultant. I know about solar energy. I went through solar training and everything. I said, okay, we have about 4 boreholes in my community with solar powered. Okay, why can't we, the community, contribute money? Since I don't have that fund right now, why can't we contribute money and fix this water to drink? The next thing, they turn it that it is political, that I have a political interest. That's why I am bringing this issue. Why didn't I bring this issue before now?
Maybe you went at the election time.
That is God.
Nigeria.
I tell everybody that we don't have tribal problem in Nigeria. The problem we have in Nigeria is between the elite, between the rich, the political elite, and the ordinary people. Let's open the eyes of the ordinary people and chase away all those rich elites, and we'll be able to set Nigeria free. It doesn't matter what tribe they are coming from.
No, I'm really, like I said, I'm ready to work with you from my own village, from my own kindred. That is where I see a lot. Okay, DSA, let me cut this thing short now to give other people a privilege to call, or this is a privilege. Sir, please, I want you to go to and watch today's program, Brekete Family.
Okay.
I have been following that program for the past 5 years too. Also, I'm a member of the family, Brekete Family, just like I'm a member of
DSA family. Yes.
By God's grace. Then today's program, everybody was just like crying. There was this corruption allegation, because I know you can call Ahmed Issa and advise him.
Yes.
I know you can do that. Yes, I know you can do that. Ahmed Issa, in the studio today, Emmanuel Babayaro, gold medalist.
Yes, the footballer.
Yes, and the footballer and coach James Peter, one of the best coach Nigeria have ever
produced.
For the past 3 months, 3 weeks now, 3 months now, they have been exposing corruption in LFF.
Okay.
Resulting to millions of dollars, not billions of naira. But do you know that today the court stopped Ahmed Issa from investigating or from talking about that issue?
Wow, are you serious?
Where billions of naira is involved, where millions of dollars involved, with all documents, and they are showing the documents to the whole world. That look at this. Nigeria never one day in Nigerian history played football match with Bolivia. Look at the corruption in Nigeria. But the Nigerian NFF collected millions of naira from Nigerian government that Nigeria played ball with Bolivia 1-0. And such thing never happened in Nigerian history. Nigeria, up to today, Nigeria have never played any football match with Bolivia. But how come the same group of people collected money from Nigerian government? And Ahmed Issa is complaining this now, have shut him up. So these are the things you have to look into when we are talking about fixing Nigeria.
Beautiful, very strong point.
When you talk, they shut you up. When you talk, they use courts. They have used court now to shut him up.
You are right.
So the billions of naira we are talking about, what people are suffering, like I'm complaining about water now to you, that my people who don't have water to drink. But the money is not there. Now the money that is meant for the youth, youth sports development, very few people. The worst part of it, the cabals in Aso Rock, they are aware of it.
Yes, and they are not doing anything.
Right now is that, yes, the allegation right now is that somebody who is very close to the vice president of Nigeria is involved in the scam.
Wow. You see, that's our problem. It is the few elites that are killing everybody.
Yeah.
So when you start the project of fixing Nigeria, the area of sports should be looked into. Should be looked into seriously, because we have the potential. We have all the potentials. Look at what we are doing right now in boxing. Look at what we are doing with other sports. Even in cricket right now we are growing, but corruption would never allow us to go anywhere. So if you are tackling Nigerian issues, please look into youth development, mostly on sports.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. Thank you, Austin. Thank you so very much, Vincent.
Yeah, Vincent, sir.
Vincent.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
When I finish reading that book on how to source money for my foundation, I will get back to you, sir.
Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you, sir.
Blessings.
Dr. Joe?
Yes, sir.
I salute you, sir.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
In Igbo language, you say the CK mean well done.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for all you're doing and for your heart. You know, one of the things I'm going to say, Dr. Sunday, that, you know, as he is speaking, I could feel his heart, and it's hard to help people
and help his community.
And I'm thinking that.
So that's what I was saying, that you have to identify with your community first before you identify with the whole of Nigeria.
Of course, and that's the logical thing to do. And if we have
everybody, every one of us,
like him,
to identify with his own community.
I want to help.
He went to America and bought 2 ambulances and shipped them to Nigeria. And he himself is living in Mexico. He's struggling. He has a family. His wife is a foreigner, and still
can do that.
Yeah. And then after doing that, he wanted to advise them about the water. They would not listen. So it is about the elite in Nigeria. We need to do something about that. And I will keep on talking.
Yeah.
I will keep on talking.
We have to enlighten the masses
and the country in general.
Yeah, and in the country, you know. Wow. Well, I guess that's where we are going to wrap up today. Thank you so much, our viewers who have been with us right from the beginning to this point in time. This is Fixing Nigeria. We can't get tired of addressing these issues. The difference on this platform is that we're not just talking. We're not just trying to get sensational information out. No, but we are preferring real solutions, and that is from that analytical and critical view of whatsoever we are trying to address. We're not just coming to talk about things, but we are going straight to the roots, analyzing it, and preferring concrete solutions that would help Nigeria to the future that we envisage. So if you're Nigerian, there's hope for our nation. And like Dr. Sunday always says, don't be in a haste to change your Nigerian passport. Don't be in a haste, because Nigeria very soon will become the pride of the world and not just Africa. And we believe that we're working towards that. And if you're a Nigerian, or if you're not Nigerian, you would like to join the Nigerian Transformation Project, I'm sure people will be saying that you guys have been announcing this all this while. Well, we'll keep announcing it because we know what we see already. So if you want to join the Nigerian Transformation Project, the way to do that is to go to Dr. Sunday's blog, which is sundayadelajablog.com/Nigeria. And you can sign in there, tell us that you're interested in joining the team. And if you also have any idea, any project, share with us. And when we're ready to move, you'll be informed. Thank you so much for being with us on this episode of Fixing Nigeria. Please share if you've not shared. And to watch previous episodes, you could go to Dr. Sunday's YouTube channel, which is Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Search for the playlist Fixing Nigeria, and you can enjoy all of our previous episodes. Well, from me, Anojo, I want to say thank you for being with us. And Dr. Sunday will give his final words.
Yes, it's been a pleasure talking about this topic. Nothing personal and nothing sentimental in our discussion today. So if any one of you felt offended or somehow insulted, apologies. Nothing of such is intended. And thank you so much for being with us today. We'll see you tomorrow. Blessings.